Welcome to Global Watch. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more. Breaking updates. The global economy braces for impact as a new and unprecedented trade war erupts between two of the world's largest economic powers. Investors, business leaders, and everyday citizens alike are on edge, watching as the first dominoes begin to fall. The tension is palpable, with financial markets reacting in real time to every new headline and policy announcement. Around the world, uncertainty ripples through boardrooms and households as people try to make sense of what this escalating conflict could mean for their futures. The latest flashpoint: China's government has just imposed a staggering 300% tariff on electric vehicles imported from the United States. This is not just a minor adjustment or a symbolic gesture. This is a seismic move, one that will send shockwaves through the global auto industry and beyond. The new tariffs are designed to make American-made electric vehicles prohibitively expensive for Chinese consumers, effectively shutting the door on a key market for U.S. automakers. The message from Beijing is clear: the era of business as usual is over. This bold and aggressive action directly targets American automakers, many of whom have spent years and billions of dollars building their presence in China. For Beijing, this is more than just a defensive maneuver. It's a calculated shift from playing defense to taking the offensive in the ongoing economic rivalry with Washington. Chinese officials, standing before the world's media, frame the move as a necessary response to what they describe as unfair trade practices and mounting pressure from the U.S. government. The stakes have never been higher. The implications of this trade war are vast and far-reaching. For companies like Tesla, which has invested heavily in its Shanghai factory and relies on Chinese consumers for a significant portion of its sales, the future suddenly looks uncertain. American families shopping for electric vehicles may soon find that prices are rising, not just for imported cars, but for domestically produced models as well, as supply chains are disrupted and costs increase. The ripple effects will be felt by workers, suppliers, and consumers on both sides of the Pacific. The era of open markets and global cooperation is fading fast, replaced by a new age of economic nationalism and strategic competition. Factories may close, jobs may be lost, and the spirit of international collaboration that once defined the global economy is giving way to suspicion and rivalry. Political leaders meet behind closed doors, their handshakes tense as they try to navigate a landscape that is shifting beneath their feet. International summits, once symbols of unity, now highlight the deep divisions between nations. As of October 7, 2025, the world is watching with bated breath. News anchors break the story across continents. Crowds gather in city squares to watch the latest updates, and the stock market ticks down with every new development. The question on everyone's mind: who will blink first in this high-stakes confrontation? The outcome of this trade war will shape the global economy for years to come, and its consequences will be felt in every corner of the world. Today's crisis is rooted in a long history of U.S.-China trade tensions. The trade war, marked by tariffs and accusations, has hurt businesses and created mistrust. The battleground has shifted to electric vehicles, a key industry for both nations. The U.S. imposed tariffs on Chinese EVs to protect its auto industry, setting the stage for escalation. This pattern of action and reaction has eroded trust, making a quick resolution unlikely. In a bold move that sent shockwaves through the global auto industry, both the United States and Canada announced sweeping 100% tariffs on electric vehicles imported from China. This decision, which came after months of mounting trade tensions and heated debates among policymakers, was designed to send a clear message: North American governments are determined to shield their domestic auto sectors from what they see as unfair competition. The tariffs, which effectively double the price of Chinese EVs overnight, are among the highest ever imposed on a major trading partner in the automotive sector. The official rationale behind these tariffs is to protect local industries and jobs, especially as North America races to build its own electric vehicle manufacturing capacity. Policymakers argue that Chinese automakers benefit from heavy state subsidies, allowing them to undercut prices and flood foreign markets with cheaper cars. By imposing these tariffs, the US and Canada hope to give their own manufacturers the breathing room they need to innovate, scale up production, and compete on a more level playing field. The immediate effect of these tariffs has been to virtually shut the door on Chinese electric vehicle brands in North America. Shipments that were once destined for American and Canadian dealerships now sit idle at ports, unable to compete with the steep new costs. For Chinese automakers, North America, a market with millions of potential customers, has suddenly become almost entirely inaccessible. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, the European Union has taken a different but related approach. The EU launched a high-profile anti-subsidy investigation into Chinese electric vehicles, scrutinizing whether Chinese manufacturers are receiving unfair government support. In response to their findings, the EU has proposed its own set of tariffs, aiming to ensure that European automakers are not disadvantaged in their home market. These coordinated actions by Western governments have created a formidable barrier for Chinese automakers, who now face significant obstacles in some of the world's most lucrative car markets. Unsurprisingly, Beijing has responded with strong rhetoric and hints at possible retaliatory measures, signaling that the trade dispute is far from over. While Western leaders insist that these tariffs are necessary to defend their economies and ensure fair competition, Chinese officials have condemned them as blatant protectionism. The stage is now set for a dramatic escalation in trade tensions, with both sides preparing for a prolonged and potentially costly standoff over the future of the global electric vehicle industry. On March 8, 2025, the world watched as China delivered a stunning blow in the ongoing trade war with the United States. In a move that sent shockwaves through global markets, Beijing announced a staggering 300% tariff on all US-made electric vehicles entering the Chinese market. This was not just a minor adjustment or a symbolic gesture, it was a dramatic escalation, a clear message that China was prepared to fight back with full force. The news quickly dominated headlines, with analysts scrambling to assess the potential fallout for both economies. The new tariff specifically targeted some of the most recognizable American automotive brands, Tesla, Ford, and General Motors. These companies had spent years and billions of dollars establishing a foothold in the lucrative Chinese market, which is the largest for electric vehicles in the world. Overnight, their cars became prohibitively expensive for Chinese consumers, with prices soaring far beyond the reach of most buyers. Showrooms that once buzzed with excitement over the latest American models suddenly fell silent as potential customers turned away in disbelief at the new price tags. For the executives at these companies, the impact was immediate and severe. Stock prices for Tesla, Ford, and GM tumbled as investors reacted to the loss of access to a critical market. The Chinese market had represented a significant portion of their global revenue, and now, that stream was effectively cut off. Boardrooms filled with urgent meetings as leaders scrambled to reassess their global strategies, considering everything from shifting production to other countries to rethinking their entire approach to international trade. This was not the first time China had used tariffs as a weapon in trade disputes. Just months earlier, Canadian agricultural exports, like soybeans and canola, had faced similar scrutiny and restrictions at Chinese ports. Those earlier actions now seemed like a warning shot, a preview of the much larger escalation that was to come. The message was clear. China was willing to use its vast market as leverage in international negotiations. The imposition of a 300% tariff was more than just an economic maneuver. It was a powerful political statement. At a press conference, Chinese officials made it clear that they would not stand by as passive victims in a trade war initiated by others. The move was designed to demonstrate resolve and to rally domestic support, while also sending a warning to other nations considering similar actions. As tensions between the world's two largest economies continued to rise, the global community braced for the next chapter in this high-stakes economic conflict. Tesla, led by Elon Musk, is hit hardest by China's new tariff. The tariff doesn't affect Tesla's Shanghai-made cars but devastates its US-made exports to China. This disrupts Tesla's global strategy, complicating production and logistics. Musk, caught between Washington and Beijing, must navigate this geopolitical storm. Tesla's success in China, once a model for Western companies, now makes it a prime target in this trade war. The tariff war is driving up global car prices. In North America, tariffs on Chinese EVs limit affordable options, keeping prices high. In China, US cars become luxury items, leaving the market to domestic and European brands. The global car market is fragmenting into regional blocks, disrupting supply chains and raising costs. Consumers worldwide face higher prices and fewer choices as the dream of a global car market fades. Beyond tariffs, China wields its dominance over rare earth elements as a powerful weapon. These minerals are crucial for EV motors and advanced technology. In April 2025, China tightened export restrictions, disrupting Tesla's Optimus robot production. This move highlights the vulnerability of U.S. tech industries reliant on Chinese rare earths. China's control over these materials is a strategic advantage, posing a real threat to Western manufacturing. Experts worldwide are grappling with the trade war's implications. In China, there's confidence in pushing back against Western policies. In North America, opinions are divided, with some advocating for easing tariffs to benefit consumers. Industry groups warn against softening trade barriers, fearing market flooding by subsidized Chinese EVs. The disruption of supply chains underscores the need for diversification to reduce dependency on China. The trade war marks a shift from globalization to great power competition. Companies must adapt to a fragmented market with economic walls and political risks. Consumers face higher prices and fewer choices as tariffs disrupt supply chains. Businesses must rethink strategies, possibly moving production to allied countries. The path to de-escalation is unclear, but the economic damage may eventually force negotiations.